Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're skipping the usual jargon, really getting straight to the insights you can actually use. We're digging into how modern product teams, well, how they really work, and maybe more importantly, how they measure success, how they know they're actually doing well beyond just the buzzwords. This deep dive is absolutely for you, trying to cut through that noise and just give you the core stuff that matters.
Exactly. And we've got maybe a slightly unusual way into this today. Our source material. It's actually a set of practice questions, believe it or not,
Mhm.
for the Safe Product Owner, Product Manager exam, the POPM.
Okay.
Now, wait, this isn't about studying for the test.
Yeah.
Not at all. We're using these questions and, crucially, their explanations, kind of like a lens, a way to uncover the real fundamental ideas and jobs within Agile and, specifically, the SAFE framework.
Right. SAFE being the Scaled Agile Framework, so those may be less familiar.
Yeah, precisely, is how bigger companies try to use Agile across lots of teams. And that POPM role, super key in deciding what gets built. So our mission today is simple. Pull out the core knowledge, the practical stuff, and maybe trigger a few aha moments for you, all from looking at these exam questions, things that might really change how you see team dynamics.
I like that approach. And just for a bit of context for everyone listening, the exam itself, 45 questions, mix of multiple choice, multiple select, 90 minutes, and you need 36 right. That's 80% to pass it. Really forces you to be precise.
It does.
And that precision, that clarity, that's what we want to unpack for you today.
It's
Okay, so with that setup, let's jump in. The big challenge for any team today is dealing with change, right? The world moves fast. So our first question gets right to it. Which of the following best illustrates the Agile principle of embracing change?
And the answer that our source material points to is welcoming changing requirements, even late in development.
Welcoming them late.
Yeah, exactly. It's a key part of the Agile Manifesto principles. The explanation really stresses that Agile isn't about locking down a plan months in advance. It's about staying flexible, adapting to what the business needs now, even if it's late in the game. The whole idea is keeping the product valuable to the customer and relevant to the market, not just sticking blindly to an old plan.
That phrase, welcoming change late in development, that must sound terrifying, maybe even irresponsible to someone used to traditional project management. How do teams actually do that without everything just falling apart? Is there a control mechanism?
That's a fair question. It's not about chaos. It's about manage adaptation. The control comes from really tight feedback loops, constant communication, and critically, a clear shared understanding of the overall product goal or vision.
Okay.
So the team is always asking, okay, this new request, does it actually add more value right now than the thing we're currently working on? It's a continuous evaluation, a constant steering, not just random turns.
Right, so it's disciplined flexibility, not just reacting to everything. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about planning, specifically within SAFE. PI planning, that big multi-team alignment event. Our second question dives into the product owner's role there. During PI planning, what is the main responsibility of the product owner?
Yeah, this is fundamental. The answer highlighted is clarify and prioritize features and user stories.
Hmm.
The source explanation really hammers this home. The PO is the absolute linchpin for making sure the team gets the priorities straight. They need to be there to answer questions, define the scope clearly, and really guide the team toward creating a plan that's, well, achievable, but also delivers the most value.
So let's flip that. What happens when a PO isn't great at that? When the clarification or prioritization is fuzzy,
Yeah.
what's the breakdown look like for the team on the ground?
Oh, it's messy. Immediately. You see teams spinning their wheels, maybe building stuff that isn't the highest priority, or worse, building things based on misunderstandings. You get rework, frustration skyrockets, momentum just dies. It's like trying to assemble something complex with blurry instructions. A good PO cuts through all that fog.
Yeah, I can picture that. Removes that cognitive load, like you said before. Okay, so we've covered embracing change, planning effectively, but what about before you even start coding? How do you figure out what customers actually want or need? This brings us to question 3. Which activity is part of the continuous exploration cycle in SAFE?
Right, continuous exploration. The key activity identified here is conducting customer interviews to validate hypotheses.
Ah, validation.
Exactly. Continuous exploration, or CE, is the very first part of SAFE's continuous delivery pipeline. It's all about being, well, relentless in discovering customer needs. And you do that through research like the interviews mentioned, maybe surveys, building quick prototypes to test ideas. The whole point is making sure your proposed solutions actually hit the mark with customers before you sink a ton of development effort into them.
That feels so proactive. It's not just about saving money by avoiding building the wrong thing, is it? It's more like de-risking innovation. You find out early and cheaply if an idea has legs.
That's a great way to put it. De-risking innovation. You fail fast, learn fast, pivot fast. So by the time engineers are really building, you've got much higher confidence you're building something people will actually value.
Makes total sense.
Hmm.
Okay, we have principles, we have upfront discovery, but development is an ongoing process. How do teams keep things running smoothly day to day, stay agile? Let's look at backlog refinement. Question 4 asks, what is one benefit of holding backlog refinement on a regular cadence?
And the benefit highlighted is pretty direct. It keeps the team's backlog in a ready state.
A ready state. What does that mean practically?
It means the work coming up soon, say, for the next iteration or two, is well understood. It's been discussed, it's broken down into small enough pieces, it's estimated, and it's prioritized. So when the team starts a new iteration, they can just pull work from the top of the backlog and get going without a lot of last-minute confusion or delay. Fewer surprises, much more efficient flow.
Okay, that ready state sounds good, efficient. But is there a danger of, like, over-refining? Spending ages polishing items way down the backlog that might change or disappear anyway. Where's the balance?
Absolutely, that's a real risk.
Yeah.
The sweet spot is generally just-in-time refinement. You want the next couple of iterations well-defined, absolutely, but you don't need perfect detail for stuff that's months away. That far-out work might just be bigger ideas, placeholders. The backlog should be a living thing, adapting as you learn more. So enough refinement to keep moving smoothly now, but not so much you're predicting a future that will inevitably change.
Prepared, not perfectly predicted. Got it. All right, final area for today. Measuring performance. How does a product owner actually know how the team is doing in terms of delivery? Not just tasks completed, but real progress. Our last question. Which metric helps the product owner understand the team's delivery performance?
The metric singled out here is release train burnup.
Release train burnup. Okay, tell us more.
So remember, SAFe often involves multiple teams working together. That's the Agile Release Train, or RT. The burnup chart basically shows, visually, the total scope of work planned for a release or a program increment, and then tracks how much of that work the RT has actually completed over time. It plots the total scope line and then another line showing cumulative completed work. So the PO can see progress towards the goal, track the rate of delivery, and importantly, forecast if they're likely to hit their targets. It shows trends, not just point-in-time status.
So what's the aha moment looking at that burnup compared to, say, just looking at a list of completed user stories or tasks?
Yeah.
What does that visual trend really tell the PO?
The big aha is moving from just tracking activity or busyness to tracking actual value delivery and predictability. You see the flow. Is the completed work line climbing steadily toward the scope line? Great. Is it flattening out? Uh-oh, maybe there's a bottleneck. Did the scope line suddenly jump up? Scope creep. It helps the PO see if the team or the whole train is delivering predictably. It allows for data-driven conversations with stakeholders about forecasts. Are we on track? If not, why not? And what adjustments do we need? It's about understanding the bigger picture of value flow.
That makes a huge difference, moving from guesswork to actual insight.
Absolutely. So we've talked about embracing change, clarifying priorities, validating needs, refining work, tracking progress, all essential. So if you had to pick just one thing in your current process, one aspect of how you or your team works, what could you perhaps refine slightly or start measuring differently that might unlock a whole new level of insight or efficiency for delivering value? Something to think about.